Hello, everyone. This is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. I was so wrong. Let's get started and talk about it. Let me share with you guys what I was wrong about. I was really wrong about the meaning of self-care, and I've got to chat with you guys about this today because I think what I'm about to talk about will really help many of you as well. So let me get started and talk about it. Let me share with you why I'm doing this video. I recently saw a video by a fabulous YouTube creator who I really like called Simply Libby. She was talking about self-care. And what she said in this video was self-care is doing the hard thing, the thing you don't want to do. And I thought, wow, whenever I've thought about the word self-care, I think of comforting ourselves and validating ourselves, okay? So I looked up the meaning of the word self-care and was kind of surprised. The practice of taking action. Wow, who knew? Action to improve one's health. So the word action and improve is in one sentence. Well, guess what I've been using it for? Self-comfort and validating myself and making excuses. And you know what? Many times if I share with other friends, because they're loving and sweet, they like to validate me as well. So here I am making excuses and validating. And this is my issue. When it comes to anything in life, many times we want to comfort ourselves. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But for me, it's a challenge to find the balance between comfort, validation, making excuses versus shaming and unhelpful comments and unhelpful and detrimental self-talk. Finding a balance when you know you might need some tough love where you need to take action now. I've seen many videos all on YouTube about all sorts of topics, whether it's about losing weight if you finally need to, about paying off debt or getting your budget in order, your house is a disaster, finally going through and taking care of that, or taking care of difficult things that you don't want to deal with, whether it is paperwork that you need to go through. It could be anything you've been putting off, going to the dentist, going to the doctor, just a lot of things that we just don't feel like doing. How many times do we hear people say, well, I'll start it in the new year. I'll start that diet January 5th, or I'll start thinking about paying off debt after I put all my stuff on charge, the charge account in December. Or you know what? I don't really want to go to the dentist and I don't have the money for it. So I'll think about that later down the road. I'll deal with it later. How many times have we done that? And a lot of times the word self-care, I've been using it to comfort myself because for so long I spent so much time shaming myself that I went from one extreme to the other. And for me, I seem to do that a lot. Finding balance for me is kind of a challenge to go from one extreme to the other. And sometimes we do need a little bit of tough love in our life where we need to say, okay, why do we want to lose weight? Why do we want to get our budget in order and pay off debt? Why do we need to go to the dentist? Or it could be anything, or have that difficult phone call with a friend where you need to tell them something you don't want to share. It could be anything. A lot of times I try to put up walls and protect myself from any kind of stress or discomfort. I kind of just like to keep in my nice, neat little shell, rose-colored glasses, ignorance is bliss, all that kind of stuff. But many times all of these things come back to bite you. And it could be any topic. Now, I know this. When I do the right thing and I feel like I make the right decision, I feel really good about that. Example, when I went shopping recently to Sam's and I stuck to my list and I didn't buy anything else, it felt really, really good. But when I don't do that, when I overspend, even though I'm debt-free, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I make excuses sometimes when I'm spending money that I don't really need to. I say, well, I'm saving at least a third of my income. Well, I'm debt-free, so I deserve it. You know what? That it doesn't mean that I should be not a wise steward of my money and I should be spending money that I don't need to be spending. And so I validate myself. I spend a lot of time making excuses and validating myself and all areas of my life. And when I saw this video with Libby, I thought this would be a great discussion to have with all of you because self-care is wonderful. And yes, sometimes we do need comfort. We do need encouragement, and it's good to validate ourselves. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but many times for me, I take it to the extreme that I spend so much time comforting myself, I never get to taking an action step to do things. Or when things start to get a little tough, I give up on anything in life. Or if it causes a little bit of stress, for example, learning something new, and I start to get frustrated. Oh, I'm frustrated with it. We'll just table this for another time. It's too stressful. It's not important. It could be anything. When things are easy, sure, and fun, I love to do them. But when things get tough or I'm not getting results fast enough in all areas of my life, or it's something that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable and I don't like to deal with it. You guys know I'm not a fan of confrontation and conflict, and anybody that has those types of personalities, I actually literally run from them. The other day, somebody was on the phone, wanted to discuss something, and I said, well, gotta go, bye. And that's exactly how I said it, and I got off the phone because I tend to avoid things that are unpleasant because I like constant comfort. And I definitely think many of us have been like this, especially the last few years, because it has been stressful, so we do need more comfort. The point is finding balance between when do we need to be a little bit tough love and take some action, and when is it okay to sit back and say, hey, let's take some time to sit back, reflect, comfort ourselves a little bit, and it's okay to do that for right now. But later on, we'll take action and make a plan to take action on whatever. And when I talk about all of this, guys, I'm not talking about a specific topic. It could be anything going on in your life. I think many of us, now I don't know for you, and I can't judge your life, but I think many of us have something in our life that we've been putting off that we really don't want to deal with. For me, I'm just going to name all of mine right now. I'm going to lay it on the line. Number one, going to the dentist. I hate going. I have a really bad gag reflex. Luckily, I know I don't have any cavities, and I actually don't have any fillings in my mouth, and I take good care of my teeth, but that's not an excuse. I really should go to the dentist because I haven't been in a few years. Number two, medical care. Sometimes I avoid going to doctors and things because I just really don't enjoy going. Number three, the tree removal. I haven't really wanted to deal with that because that means I'll be without electricity for an entire day. That means I won't be able to work from home, and it's inconvenient. So it's due to inconvenience for that one. I don't like being inconvenienced. Number four, weight loss and keeping it off. We've been there, done that with that topic. Number five, I do sometimes overspend, sometimes dealing with that. Number six, learning to drive. Now that one, I really am not that interested in right now due to traffic. And maybe that's something that I may do at some point. I'm not sure. Part of the issue also, and I'm not making an excuse on this, I cannot completely turn my neck. And that is a concern with driving because I can only turn my neck partial way since I broke it. I cannot turn it completely to the left or the right. And as a matter of fact, I had somebody at my demo recently say, can you, something wrong with your neck? And I said, why? She said, I noticed that you can't turn it very far. And she told me she was a nurse. It's the only person that's actually called me out on it, but I didn't think anybody could notice, but I can't completely turn it. So I'm not sure what to do about the driving part anyway, but I've put that off for so many years because it stresses me out and it causes me a lot of stress. Okay, number seven, learning new technical things. I've gotten better with that, but I still kind of avoid that because if it's something that has a lot of moving parts, I tend to just say, no, not interested. I don't want to deal with it. I know there's way more things than those seven that I told you, okay? I'm sure there are. Those are just seven to start with, okay? So let me ask you guys this question. Are there things in your life that you just don't feel like dealing with? You kind of feel like you maybe should, but you start on it and then you backtrack and then you're like, well, we'll think too much going on right now. We'll think about that later. And you kind of comfort yourself and make excuses. I know I do. I just gave you seven things off the top of my head, and that's without me taking time to really think about it. But remember, self-love is wonderful to comfort ourselves and validate ourselves, yes, but there are times where we might get sick and tired of being sick and tired moment where we want to actually take action steps to deal with some things that we've really been putting off. Let me know what you guys think. When you're done with this video, I'm going to link Simply Libby's video below. I really like her, and the reason why, she talks about all sorts of topics. Hers is primarily about weight loss, but she talks about other things as well, and I find her very encouraging, very authentic and honest, so I think you will too. And by the way, before letting you go, I have to share a quick funny story with you. Very, very quick. Okay, I wanted to buy my husband and daughter an advent calendar. Well, I didn't read the advent calendar that I bought for my daughter. And so I bought this calendar, and I'll just show you, it's already open. Instead of treats, it's had little kitties on the outside. So I, for some reason, didn't read it. So I thought it would be little chocolate shaped in a form of a cat. That's not what it was. What it was a cat treat. My daughter opened this and said, "Mom, I was looking forward to chocolates, but they're little cat treats." Well, we have outdoor kitties we've been giving them to, but she was kind of surprised and she said, "Hey, I have a great new diet tip. Whenever you want a little goodie, just take a little nibble of a cat treat and it'll keep you from overeating." I will call it the cat food diet. But anyway, I thought you guys would get a kick out of this, that I didn't read the container, and luckily this was on clearance, but I was all excited about getting my daughter an advent calendar, and I ended up buying her one for cats, not humans. So you never know with me. Takes time. I guess what? It shows that I need to start paying attention more. Let me know, guys, how everyone's doing today. What do you think of this topic? Please chime in and let me know how you use self-care. And I really do want to know in the comments below, what are areas that you tend to give up on, that you really feel you need some self-care, and you know that maybe you need a little bit of tough love and doing the hard thing. That's all I have to say for now. I love you. I appreciate you. And like always, I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.